What if just one thing at a time is not only unwise, but it is actually limiting? You know, you've heard it before, just one thing at a time, one thing at a time. It's about focus, I get it. But what if just one thing at a time is not always wise, but it is actually limiting? Focus is important, right? Focus is vital, but I believe life is not a straight line. Life is not a straight line. Yes, you have to focus, but you also have to be productive. So we will talk a little bit about when batching will boost your flow, will boost your productivity, when pivoting will protect your energy, and how to know when to do either of the two. That is what I want us to think about this particular week. Welcome to August, and this, wherever you're watching this, it's important for you to know I'm recording this at, I think, 2nd or 3rd of August 2025. So happy new month. And I think it's important as we go ahead in the months of 2025 to understand that the year is almost running to an end and productivity is key. And that is why I'm bringing to you this week, breaking the single task myth. Breaking the single task myth. I get it, I've preached it. If you watch any of my video, you've heard me say focus on a single task, and I'm an advocate of the mythology around multitasking. I don't believe it exists. I just believe you are somebody that is indisciplined. All right, I believe when you say you can multitask, what you are really doing is shifting your attention. Your attention is sporadic, it's not focused. But today we are not going to talk about that. Nevertheless, even though I believe so strongly that there is nothing like multitasking in the game of productivity, and I understand that focus is vital, also it is important that we know that there are aspects to life. Generally, life is not a straight line, and that is what I want to bust today: the myth of single task. The myth of single task. You only have to do one thing at a time, kind of. There is a way that you can pivot, and you need to know when. Do you understand me? You need to know when to pivot. So breaking the single task myth, it means you reject the rigid belief that doing only one thing at a time is the only path to success. That's all I want us to think about. Breaking the single task myth is you rejecting the rigidity of believing that doing only one thing at a time is the only path to success. We all want to succeed, and we need to believe and understand that there is no single path to success. While focus is powerful, that's one thing I wrote here, I believe also abundant living often requires you to be flexible. If you want to live an abundant life, it is important for you to be flexible with your focus. You need to know when to batch similar tasks together so that you do all at once, and when to pivot strategically to stay energized and for you to be effective. So it is about moving with awareness, knowing what to do per time. I think that's where most of us miss it. We don't know what to do per time. So we think, oh, I'm somebody that loves multitasking, or you think, oh, I'm somebody that is very focused, I do only one single task at a time, and I'm trying to blend the two. I'm trying to bring balance to the two. I'm trying to merge. There should be a marriage between the single task ideology and the multitask ideology. There should be a way. You should know some tasks can be done together, while you should know the tasks that cannot be done together, that you need to single-handedly do only that you need to focus on whenever you are doing it. So there are 5 key insights that I want to share with you around this breaking the single task myth. And the first thing is, batching is not multitasking. Let me just say that batching is not multitasking. It is how you manage your momentum. You need to understand the difference. I believe in batching tasks together so that you do all at once while focusing on all the similar tasks. I don't believe in multitasking. And batching is not multitasking. Batching is about managing the momentum and the flow that you have. See, when you group similar tasks together, it helps you to enter a flow state faster, and it helps you to stay there longer. you merge and you batch similar tasks together will help you to stay on those tasks quite longer, and it will help you to reach your flow state, your productive state faster. Your brain doesn't have to switch between contexts, all right? It's important for you to know that you need to save your mental fuel. All right, you need to save your mental fuel. So your brain doesn't have to context switch. You don't need to switch between this and that. So the only way I believe that you can do that is to batch similar tasks together. It's good when you want to reply an email. You can reply different emails at once. But what are you doing? You are replying emails. You want to do some admin work. There are different types of admin works that you can batch under admin work and do it at once. That is you batching similar tasks together. Even when you want to run errands, you are going a route, all right? Ask, okay, on this route, how many errands can I run? That is batching similar tasks together. Not that you are running errands and you are sending emails and you are doing admin work. That's the concept of multitasking that I don't believe in. Do you understand me? Batching is not multitasking. It is managing your momentum. You need to batch to match your brain's rhythm. When you understand that, oh, okay, I want harmony in whatever I do. I don't want hustle. I want harmony in whatever I do. Batching will help you. Also, pivoting is a skill that you need to learn. It's not distraction. It's a skill. Life shifts. You can be working now and receive a phone call that will change your day. Good or bad, it will change your day. So it's important for you to know that, see, you will start a project and you will stall. Your energy will dip. The ability to pivot, especially when you are conscious of pivoting, is one of the high performance tools that I'm recommending to you. You need to learn how to pivot. When a project is stalling, know that it is time for you to pivot to a more energized project that is around the same thing, so that you'll be able to keep being productive. Do not guilt trip yourself when you are switching between tasks, especially when the context calls for it. You don't need to guilt trip yourself. Just make sure whatever you do, it is done intentionally. Do whatever you will do intentionally. Reactive switching is what drains your brain, and that is what multitasking is. You're doing this and that, you just scattered everywhere. But when you are purposefully pivoting, it trains you. All right, it disciplines you, it makes you effective, it makes you productive. Also, you need to know that energy it should lead your schedule. It's not about time. I think I've recorded, is it on my podcast or this video about energy management. I believe more in energy management than time management, and I believe energy, how you have trained yourself to feel, should help manage and lead your schedule, not necessarily time management. Some tasks require deep focus and some don't. You need to know the tasks that requires you to focus so deeply and the ones that don't. Do you understand me? Learn your energy patterns. When are you most alert? Is it in the morning or in the evening or even in the midnight? When are you more creative? At night or in the afternoon? You need to learn that. When you know that, you can let that type of energy pattern lead how you schedule your day, lead how you schedule your time, lead how you schedule whatever it is that you want to do. You now match when you now know your energy pattern, you now batch whatever you want to do at your natural pace. Do you understand? And you use low energy times for pivot or higher tasks, all right, or lighter tasks that will not demand all your energy. Whenever you are feeling low, just do something casual. Just do something casual. But whenever you have natural peak, in the morning, in the afternoon, or at night, that is when you need to batch the same tasks together, and then you lean into them. Do you understand me? You lean into them. And as you go this week, it's important for you to know that strategically shifting can help spark your creativity. That's one of the things that you need to know when you are breaking this single task myth. Strategic switching can spark creativity. When you hit a mental wall, it's important for you to pause, then you pivot to something fresh. I said it before. When you're doing something and the project is stalling, you're staring at a blank page, maybe you're an author, you cannot write, maybe you should pivot. Try scribbling. All right, try scribbling, try doing something fresh that will spark your creativity. Pivot to that. That is not you abandoning that project. It's because you've hit a ceiling. Pause, then pivot. The brain often solves problems subconsciously while you work on something else. And that has happened to me numerous times. That has happened to you too, if you can remember. Your brain will spark a new idea about the project you just left because you hit a wall while you are doing something entirely different. Lean into that. Do it strategically, and that is what I call strategic switching. It can help develop and spark your creativity. Great creative people or problem-solving roles demand you to learn how to strategically switch. And finally, this week, you need to master both. You need to master when you are to focus on a single task, and you need to learn how to also batch tasks. Master both. That is how you build an abundant life. Success is not either or. Do you understand me? It's not either or. You should have a mindset that sees success as both and. Both and. It's not either or, it is both and. Learn how to merge things together to help you become more better. Batch when you need to build something, pivot when you need to take a breath. Batch tasks together when you need to build something very important on your business, in your life, on your career. Then pivot when you need to take a breath and relax while you're working. That is how you can merge the two together and have an abundant life. The balance will create space for your progress. It will create space for your peace. It will create space for your productivity. See, do not worship focus. If I will summarize everything I've been talking about in the last 10 minutes, I will say, do not worship focus. Use it. Wield it as a weapon. Don't worship it. Don't be so much focused on focus. Wield it. Do you understand me? Then you release it when it is absolutely necessary. This is the question, reflective question that I want you to ask, that I want to ask you this week, and I want you to ask yourself. What part of your routine are you focusing or forcing to be single tasked? What part of your life, what part of your workstation or your work generally are you forcing to be single tasked when it is asking for a smarter flow? What part of your work are you so focused on? I want to do only this thing. I want to do only this thing. It's only this or nothing. And that thing is asking you to be smarter about it. It's asking you just be smarter. Is it time for you to batch? Is it time for you to batch better? Is it time for you to pivot intentionally? See, stop grinding blindly. Stop hustling blindly. This week, start moving consciously. Start living your life abundantly. Be smarter. Break the cycle, break the myth of the single task, all right? And go ahead and have a productive week. This is Minister Mike saying, have a productive week. And I will talk to you next week. Bye for now.